affinity exceptions are done. No, I will move to the next one, electronegativity. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋರು ಹೇಳು. Isoelectronics ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. Electronegativity. What is electronegativity? Tendency of an atom to attract shared pair of electrons, right? Is there any difference between electronegativity and electron gain enthalpy? What is that has to be, right? Because we are separately studying them. There has to be. Electron gain enthalpy is also the property of the element to gain electron. Electronegativity, we said gain electron. What is the difference then? But in terms of property, electron affinity ಮತ್ತು electronegativity and compare ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ both are properties, right? What is the difference when you compare the properties? Negative? I'm telling you about the properties. Leave the values. Electron gain enthalpy is some value. It is the amount released. Electron affinity, we said it is a property by which element gains electron. No. A property ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಗೆ differentiate ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? In fact, it is electron affinity ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ it is the tendency of an isolated gaseous neutral atom to attract electron. Alva. Electron affinity, how we define? There is an atom. Electron is added to this. This atom is an isolated form, neutral form, gaseous form. Then you add electron, and that property of that element is called as its electron affinity. Whereas when it comes to electronegativity, you have to take hydrogen fluoride. Say that is hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen here, fluorine here. Hydrogen has tendency to lose electron. It gives its electron to fluorine, and fluorine gains electron. Where it is happening? In the bonded molecule. It is not in the isolated state. Here I am not taking fluorine in the isolated gaseous atomic form. It is in a bonded form. So here when we say electronegativity, it is a tendency of the atom. Which type of atom? Bonded atom. Here isolated gaseous neutral atom, electron affinity. Electronegativity, it is a bonded atom to attract which electron? Shared pair of electrons. So much difference is there. Those two properties. Here addition of electron to the isolated neutral atom, but here the atom which is in the bonded form is attracting shared pair of electrons towards it. In both cases, obviously electrons are added to the atom, but in the different ways, different forms. Electronegativity, tendency of the bonded atom, to attract shared pair of electrons towards it. Underline bonded and shared pair. To attract shared pair of electrons towards it. Variation. Along the period, how it varies along the period? Increases. Down the group, decreases. Down the group, decreases. Factors affecting electronegativity. Say some factors. Some common factors which affects all. Atomic size and effective nuclear charge. Right, first atomic size. How is it proportional? Inversely. Effective nuclear charge. Directly. Then any other? Shielding effect inversely. Here you can assume even the oxidation state. Say A plus 2 and A plus 3, which has more electronegativity? Plus 2 and plus 3. Plus 3. Higher the positive charge, more is the tendency of attracting electron, right? So plus 3. Higher the oxidation state, more is the electronegativity. Next factor. Oxidation state. Higher the positive charge, more is the electronegativity. Hence, among ferric Fe3 plus and ferrous Fe2 plus, which is more electronegative? Ferric is more electronegative than ferrous. Ferric more electronegative than ferrous. These are some of the factors. To calculate electronegativity, African electronegativity divided by Millikan scale. Same as that Pauling has given. Pauling scale, we have this electronegativity 5.6 divided by 5.6. Here, ionic and electron affinity are given as electron volt per the unit. If it is if these are in kilocalories per mole, then in the denominator it is 125 for the conversion factor. Electron volt to kilocalories converted, it's done. We don't require derivation. Or numerator is 6 divided by 192 in case these values are in kilos per. We can use the numbers based on the units of ionization enthalpy and electron affinity. That is the third Pauling scale. Here X, we made it X in terms of xi also. Even like this. Xi, where it stands for electronegativity of the element. Suppose A and B are electronegativity bond in the bond, X is electronegativity of A, X is electronegativity of B, which can be given by 0.208. In this equation, E stands for bond enthalpy. This bond enthalpy, it is energy required to break 1 mole of a bond. 1 mole of a bond broken, energy required is called as bond enthalpy. Now what is E sub AB? Bond is between C and D. Required bond enthalpy is E sub AB. Like if the molecule is HCl, then EAB stands for E of HCl. EAA, not A minus A. Don't write E not then. A minus A is 0. Not that. AA means if it is HCl is formed by hydrogen and chlorine. So the bond between H and H. H2 molecule. Bond in the H2 molecule. The bond in the chlorine molecule. Enthalpy of that. That is the meaning. And this is power half means from here it is square root. Square bracket I have to know. That is power half. That means from here it is square root. Here bond enthalpy is in kilocalories per mole. All these bond enthalpies are in kilocalories per mole. If those bond enthalpies are joule per mole, then again this is the conversion factor 0.208. That conversion factor to be changed. That's it in the formula. It is K and Xp equal to 0.12 into same thing. Enthalpy of the bond AB minus half time enthalpy of AA bond plus enthalpy of BB bond square root. When bond enthalpies are given in kilojoules per. What is Xa minus Xp? Electronegativity difference. Difference in the electronegativity. Percentage ionic character can be calculated by the formula 16 times X minus Xp plus 0.5 times X minus B square which gives percentage ionic character of bond. Take one example of this. Electronegativity of hydrogen and fluorine are 2.1 and 4 respectively. Hydrogen and fluorine are 1 and 2 respectively. Calculate percentage ionic character of HF bond. Calculate percentage ionic character of HF bond. What is XCA? XA is 4, XB is 2.1. Whichever is greater, I have to take here. Don't take negative. Don't take 2.1 minus 4. 4 minus 2.1. Higher value to be the. We calculate the value later. The next part. Two more points. Right. What are These are atoms or ions of different elements having something same. What is same? Same number of electrons. Atoms or ions of different elements. Atoms or ions of different elements having same number of electrons. As an example, okay. Nitrogen, oxygen, neon, and sulfur. How many electrons nitrogen has? Atomic number 7. I'll make 3 minus. Now how many electrons? 6 electrons are added. Total electrons are 10. Oxygen, how many electrons? 8. I'll make 2 minus. 2 electrons are added. Total electrons again 10. Fluorine has 9. I'll add 1 electron. It's minus. Total 10. Neon, 10 electrons. Red sodium. How many electrons in sodium? 11. Remove 1. Make it plus 10 electrons. Magnesium. How many electrons? 12. Remove 2. Make it plus. Aluminium. 13. Remove 3. Make it 3 plus. These all have 10 electrons, right? These are atoms or ions of different elements. But number of electrons is 10. Then we call these as isoelectronic series. Clear? Now we can compare the size of this. We take some of the ions or all. Can consider all. If we show this term, largest size, I want to compare the size. Largest or the smallest. Before that, I will tell you the answer for. Before that, one more point. When you compare a neutral atom, it's the cation and it's the anion. It's larger. Neutral atom, it's the cation, it's anion. It's larger. Why cation is anion that? When you add electron, its electron cloud expands. Instead, if you take electron from that, remaining electron gets closely attached to the nucleus. Effective nuclear charge increases them. Therefore, always anion is greater than, size of anion is greater than, neutral atom greater than cation. So in this case, we can say cation becomes smaller, smaller, smaller. On the other side, you take the other series like minus, O2 minus, F minus, N larger. There is a size variation in the isoelectronic states. Right. Reason you can give below. Anions are larger than cations. Over. I have come to the end of this chapter, almost. If you have any doubts, you can clarify. Even after the class, also you can ask. We will move to the next chapter, and soon you'll have a test on this. Okay, any doubt? Any points you want to clarify? Right? We'll move to the next chapter. Some of the practice question on this chapter. hopefully on Monday, I will give the material of that to you. Okay, and once we'll go through that practice questions instead of writing everything. It will take more time. I'll give that printed material. I'll give. We'll move to the next chapter, thermodynamics. It has two parts, thermodynamics and thermochemistry. We'll have thermodynamics in the beginning, later to thermochemistry. Thermodynamics, what is the meaning? Thermo stands for heat. Dynamic, what is dynamic? We say students should be dynamic. It's not energy, huh? Fast flow or motion. Okay, they should not be static. Students should not be static in the class. It doesn't mean that students will get up and move in the class. Active. Activeness of students is compared to dynamic nature. Here, heat in active. Active heat means what? There is no meaning of that, right? It is heat flow. The meaning of thermodynamics is flow of heat. Here we'll be dealing with the flow of heat. But what is the purpose of this chapter? You have learned full chapter in your first year. Have you ever thought what is the purpose of learning this thermodynamics? There in syllabus, so learned. If I ask what is the purpose of learning chemical kinetics? Why you have learned the whole chapter chemical kinetics? Kinetic means what? Kinetic, Honda. Kinetic word is from where? It is again related to the kinetic, related to the kinetic energy. Motion itself, movement. That is regarding the speed, rate of the reaction. Chemical kinetic deals with rate of reaction, speed of the reaction, whereas thermodynamics should be the base for chemical kinetics. First of all, we should know whether the reaction takes place or not. Then only we can speak about the speed, right? Isn't it? If you say a runner is running with so much speed, first of all, I must know whether that person runs or not. Then only I can say that person finishes so much distance by this much time, velocity, right? So in order to understand the rate of reaction, which is studied in the chemical kinetics, we need the base of thermodynamics, where we say the process is spontaneous or not. Are you following me? Am I fast? If you find me fast, ask, I'll slow down. Rate of the process will be slow down. I have to decrease the rate, no? This is the chemistry. Not rate is not cost in chemistry. Rate is speed. Can follow, right? In the chemical kinetics, we have learned about rate of reaction, factor affecting rate of reaction, or mechanism of the reaction. All these things were dealt in the chemical kinetics. But in thermodynamics, we learn about the spontaneity of the process. At the end of the chapter, haven't you learned delta G equal to negative? So process is spontaneous. Delta G positive. Process is non-spontaneous. Delta G equal to 0. Equilibrium, which is going to the next chapter. Okay. So thermodynamics deals with spontaneity of a process. For this chapter, I'll not give sentence by sentence notes. As I explain, you have to note down. I can give you the time to note. Whatever I write on the board, better you note it. And extra information also you can write. When thermodynamics is taught, it begins with two terms, system and surrounding, correct? System and surrounding, which are separated by boundary. Isn't it? Remember all these words? Or hearing first time? Sounds like hearing first time. First time. Huh? It sounds like first time, or you're hearing first time? Okay. Thermodynamics is not done. Okay, secret. What about others? It is done. So you have heard all this. Huh? No. Not done. Then I have to go through the basics. Okay, no problem. I'll tell the meaning of all the terms. We'll go through the basics. I'll do it for you. System, in the sense, in a simple example, if you study any of the reaction in a vessel, assume it's a beaker, Some reaction, assume it as a beaker. Some reaction is assume. It looks like beaker only, no? Some reaction is taking place. Now, whatever is kept in the beaker is called a system. In the sense, it is the whole universe is divided into two parts, system and surrounding. Whatever is under study, whatever is under observation is called a system. In this vessel, we are observing the reaction inside the vessel. That is called a system. Rest everything outside is the surroundings. Okay, and this beaker, the glass part is called as boundary. That's it. It's simple. System is a part of universe which is under study or under observation. What is system here? Some liquid we have taken or some gas we have taken in the vessel. That is a system. Except that remaining part of the universe, everything outside is universe. The surface which separates universe and system, that is the boundary, which is a beaker here. Followed. Right, system. What is system? Part of universe which is under study or observation. Part of universe which is under study or observation. Then what is surrounding? Except system, rest of the part of the universe is surrounding. Understood? Then what is boundary? The surface which separates system and surrounding. Boundary is the surface that separates system and surrounding. In this example, you can have system, and this is the rest of the part of the universe which is called as surrounding, and this is boundary. This boundary, the beaker itself is boundary. Wherever I give the diagram on the board, better to note, it is easy for you to understand in the form of diagram than the statements. Just looking at the diagram, you'll understand the meaning instead of reading the statements. Most of the things here I'll try to explain through such small diagrams. When we say boundary, I said it is some surface. This surface need not be always a real surface. Like here, beaker is a real surface. It can be a real surface or imaginary surface. This can even be imaginary. It can be rigid surface or flexible surface. It can be a diathermic surface or adiabatic surface. I hope you understood the meaning of real and imaginary, rigid and flexible. These words are clear, right? Now, what is adiabatic? Adiabatic in the sense there is heat, no heat change. Heat change is constant. Heat is constant. The process in which no heat change, or you can say delta Q, no heat change. Process at constant temperature, constant heat. That is called as adiabatic. Diathermic is opposite of that. Q is not equal to 0. Or in a simple term, you can say this is non-conductor. Adiabatic is non-conductor. Diathermic means conductor of heat. That's the meaning. But in thermodynamics, instead of calling it as non-conductor conductors, we use these words. Diathermic means conductor. Adiabatic is non-conductor. Hope all these terms are clear. If anything is not clear, you ask immediately. I will not get to know whether you understood it or not. Shall we proceed? we will be discussing about only system, okay, because we have said system is a part of the universe, it is under study, so we have to study only system. No, next, right, types of system. Types of system, there are mainly three types: open system, closed system, insulated system. Again, these are simple. When a process is studied, say some reaction is going on in a vessel, that is a beaker. During this reaction, this is the matter which exchanges between system and surrounding. It is system, rest part is surrounding. Matter exchanges, maybe in the form of vapor, maybe in the form of gas. Something is liberated or something is absorbed. Then matter exchanges. In addition to that, energy in the heat. I can say energy that we call open. The open system in which matter and energy both exchange. Do you understand it? Matter and energy both get exchanged between both are. What is a closed system? Closed in the sense, see here, this vessel I've kept open vessel. This vessel is open, that is why matter is getting exchanged. If this the same process is done in a closed vessel, some process is taking place in the vessel, but the vessel is closed. I will put a lid on that. Will the matter exchange here? Matter, will it exchange? No exchange of matter. But energy can exchange. Energy is exchanged between system and surrounding, not matter. Then you call it as closed system. Simple. Process done in a closed vessel. When it comes to isolated, here the vessel is closed. Some process is taking place. In addition to that, the vessel is insulated. That is insulation. Now tell whether the matter exchanges. Yes or no? Closed vessel, no exchange of matter. What about heat or energy? Will it exchange? No, because it is a insulated vessel. Then we call it as isolated system. Understood? Now tell me, what should be the nature of this wall or surface boundary? Diathermic or adiabatic? What is the boundary this in this case? Diathermic, right? Good. That means conductor of electricity. This one, diathermic. In isolated? Yes, good. Adiabatic. That means you understood so much. Clear? Next, we'll see the different types of properties, right? Types of properties. Before that, one more. Some example let me give to this. say system, some process is taking place which is fitted with the piston, and the vessel is insulated. Tell me under which this example comes. Some process is taking place in a vessel, insulated vessel, which is fitted with the piston. Under which category I can put it? These type of questions will be asked. This is an example for dash system. Isolated. Ganesh, you said no. Then where it comes?
Isolated, but the system.
Yes, isolated means what? Nothing is taking place in that. No matter is exchanging, no heat is exchanging. But here, when it is piston is movable, right? Isn't it? Piston part is movable. If something happens in the system, some reaction takes place in the system. Example, some gas is liberated. Won't this piston be moved? If gas is liberated, won't be the piston be moved? Gas is liberated, it produces pressure, no? With that pressure, what would happen to the friction? This one piston. Piston will not be fixed. Piston doesn't mean. Otherwise, I would have said that it is closed with the lid. Lid means it is fixed. Its position doesn't change. Piston, in the sense, based on the pressure, it moves above and below, right? Up and down. Correct? Suppose some gas is released in the reaction. It produces the pressure. What would be the position of the piston? It will be moved upward, right? Correct? So some work is done. Some work is getting done inside the vessel. What is work? Form of energy itself. Isn't it? If the piston is moved up, that means some work is done. Work is a mechanical form of energy. Hence, what about the energy getting exchanged? No. So where it comes? It comes to the closed system. Even if it is isolated, insulated, the vessel is insulated. Through the vessel, through the wall, heat is not exchanged. But as work is done inside the vessel, it is pushing the piston out. Hence, energy is getting exchanged. Heat, energy in the energy. It is not only heat. Energy means what? Energy can be work. Work is a form of energy, alva. Heat is a form of energy. Energy in the it can be in the form of work, it can be in the form of heat. Heat is a non-mechanical form of energy, whereas work is the mechanical form of energy. So energy can be done whether it is in the form of heat or in the form of work. Both are energy form, alva. ಈಗ heat exchange ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ wall ಇಂದ ಆಗಬೇಕು. But work need not be through the wall. Piston is moved out, that means work is done. It is also a form of energy. There is change in the work, previous and later, if you see. Work is done. Hence, it is a closed system, not isolated. Got it? This is how you have to apply the example and the logic. Parkuli, those kind of questions will be asked. Show which type of vessel. This is an insulated vessel. And it is a piston. That is a frictionless piston, usually we say. It moves. Hence, you can show here what is happening here. Work. Work is done. Hence, it shows that work energy is exchanged. Correct? Work energy is getting exchanged. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಅರ್ತ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ವಿಚ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಇಸ್? ಓಪನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Isolated, but sometimes heat or special.
Sometimes ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Solar energy is in a continuous exchanging, right? Solar energy ಯಾವ ತರ ನಿಲ್ತದ ಭೂಮಿಗೆ ಬರೋದು. So it is a form of energy. Hence where it comes? It is a closed system. And here sometimes some materials are exchanged. That is very rare cases. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ನಾವು ಓಪನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಪನ್ ಅಂತ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So it is a closed system. In general, Earth is a closed system. Refrigerator ಅನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ಬಾಗಿಲು ತೆಗ್ದಾಗ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಬೇಡ. ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಹೋಲ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದ. ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಿಟಕಿ ಬದಿಗೆ ಇಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ನೀವು ಹಿಂದೆ ಮುಟ್ಟಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ದು? ಬಿಸಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬೈ ಇಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಹೀಟ್. ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಒಳಗಿನ ಹೀಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಅಟ್ಮಾಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಇಂದ ಕೂಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಹೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್? ವಾಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ವಾ? ಮಾಯಿಶ್ಚರ್ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಇಂದ? ಎಸ್, water exchanges. So matter exchanges. So it is an open system. Close idru, open idru, it is open system. Where do you put universe? Universe anella hakbodu. A lot of discussions are taking place on this concept, whether the universe is of which system. We say system plus surrounding makes universe alva. Iga universe ge surrounding yaudu? People say it is black, dark. Outside the universe, dark is the surrounding. If you take that, then you can put universe under isolated system. Universe idu nanta energy exchange agudilla. Matter leave the matter. Okay, then it is considered as isolated system. But in some cases, people even are saying universe is an infinite system. It is a totally different. Infinite. There is no end for that. Infinite system. So if it comes in your paper, it is left the choice. I don't know what type of choice they'll give. If isolated anta kotre isolated anta tagolli, ಅಥವಾ infinite anta kotre infinite system anta tagolli universe ಗೆ. As there is a dilemma in the answer, you may not get that question, but still. Next, make the list of properties. There are mainly two properties which are extensive and intensive properties.
Nobody. First class only they'll be there.
Extensive properties and intensive properties. What are extensive? Here, one of them depends on mass, or you can say size or quantity of the system. ಯಾವುದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ. ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೈಜ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್. The other one is not dependent. Which is dependent, which is not dependent? You have confusion regarding this? No, which is dependent? Intensive is dependent. See, this is called as confusion. I'm getting two different answers. Correct? This is the usual. It is a general problem of students, not only yours. There'll be confusion. Intensive dependent, extensive dependent. One simple example I'll give. You know what is introvert people and extrovert people? Kelidira? Extrovert. What is extrovert? Not extraordinary. Introvert. Not irritated. ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ನಾನಾಯ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಆಯ್ತು ನನ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವವರನ್ನು ಇಂಟ್ರೋವರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ರು ಒಬ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರು ಒಬ್ರೆ, ನನಗೆ ನಾನು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೋವರ್ಟ್. ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಮಚ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೋವರ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಎಲ್ರು ನನ್ನವರೇ, ಹೋದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು, ಎಲ್ರೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್. ದ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹೂ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಪೀಪಲ್? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾವರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಯಾರನ್ನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಬ್ಬನನ್ನೇ ಇಟ್ರೆ ಹಿಮಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನಲ್ಲಿ ಸತ್ತೇ ಹೋದಾನು. ನಂಗೆ ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ನೇ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ದೇವರೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಅದರ್. ಸೇಮ್ ಆಸ್ ದಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಮಾಸ್. ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್. Extrovert depends, extensive depends. Introvert on its own. Intensive on its own. Doesn't depend. Simple, right? Anymore, there should not be confusion. Personality compare madi. You'll get the answer. Hence, here let us classify different properties into these two sets. When we say intensive, what is extensive property? Property which depends on any of these, either mass or size or quantity of the system. Intensive does not depend. Usually, if a constant is said, a property is constant, then where does it fall? Constants like gas constant, idella ellige hakbodu, intensive, extensive. Intensive, which doesn't depend on anything, right? R, gas constant, no matter, its value is same. In that way, we have to differentiate the properties. Keep giving the properties, we'll put it. Say fast. Say some properties. Like mass, where does mass come? Mass, eli bartade. Extensive, good. Mass, W. Volume. Eli bartade, volume. Extensive. Number of moles. Number of moles. One small vessel, one big vessel. Number of moles. Depends on the quantity? Depends or no? Depends, right? So number of moles is here. Temperature. Temperature. Room temperature 28 ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು small room ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಹುದು ದೊಡ್ಡ room ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ವಾ? It comes here. Pressure. Room pressure is atmosphere, 1 atmosphere. Small room or big room. Doesn't matter where it comes. Intensive. This will tell few properties. Work ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ? Work. Extensive. Depends on the quantity, right? ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಭಾರ ಎತ್ತಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬ್ಯಾಗ್. ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Depends on the quantity, right? So where it comes? Here. Work. Energy. Extensive. Energy and all forms of energy comes under this. Any form. There are many forms of energy. Work energy, you can say work energy or other forms of energies. Tell some forms of energies. Kinetic energy. Heat energy. Then internal energy. Potential energy. Internal energy ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. Kinetic energy ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? It is sum of all sorts of energy. So all sorts comes here. Then even enthalpy, entropy, free energy. Free energy ಬರುವಾಗ enthalpy, entropy ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬರಬೇಕು. Free energy. Then what else? Where density comes? Density of 1 liter of water, 5 liter of water different ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Density of water ಹೇಳುದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು? Density. Refractive index. You have this word in the physics. When they give, they don't tell that 1 meter cube glass has so much refractive index, 2 meter cube has so much. It is said as for glass. So refractive index also comes here. What else? You have heard about the heat capacity. Heat capacity ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? ಹೌದಾದ್ರೆ ಹೌದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳುದು. ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, okay. Heat capacity means assume there is a substance, some amount of substance, its heat to be increased by 1 degree. The amount of heat required is called as heat capacity. So heat capacity is the amount of heat required to raise heat capacity. Heat capacity comes under extensive. You write the meaning of that. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of certain amount of substance by 1 degree. Certain amount of substance by 1 degree. When I said certain amount, it depends on the mass, no? Mass ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ heat ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕು, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ರೆ heat ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬೇಕು. So it comes under extensive. Same as that, here you write heat capacity. Same as that, there is one more term called as specific heat capacity. Specific, and one more is called as molar. Specific or molar heat capacity. When I say specific, the meaning is the amount I said no in heat capacity, it is unit mass, maybe 1 gram or 1 kg, something unit. What is the meaning? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree. 1 degree is common. Whereas if it is molar heat capacity, then the amount should be 1 mole. Instead of 1 gram, it is 1 mole. Amount of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 mole of a substance by 1 degree. These definitions will take later. I'll give you this discussion to be done on these separately. Hence, these two come under intensive, because here the mass is fixed. Mass is fixed. Now it is not going to dependent on the mass. It has to be for 1 gram. This has to be for 1 mole. It is fixed. Hence it comes here. Clear? These all things are clear, right? This is the way how we have to place the properties in intensive and extensive. Hope now we'll get to know how to place them. Just you have to think of this, whether it depends on the quantity or size or mass. I'll give you one question on this. Quickly note a question. Among the following, which is an extensive property? Which is an extensive property? Write the options. First one, specific heat capacity. Second, Gibbs free energy. G capital, it's the name. Gibbs free energy, Gibbs. Gibbs free energy. Third, electromotive force, EMF. Electromotive force, EMF. Next, dielectric constant. Dielectric constant. What is the answer? Huh? Gibbs free energy, right? That is easy to identify. We have already said it. Now, why not the rest are extensive? Let's see. Specific heat capacity heli aitu. What is specific heat capacity? Idradu formula just is Q by mass into delta T. This formula matte nan teach martene again. Now you just keep in mind. Here numerator comes under there, no? Heat. Q is heat, which is an extensive property. In the denominator, W is an extensive property. So remember, when the ratio of extensive to extensive taken, it becomes intensive. Any property, if you do not know the meaning of, or if you do not know whether it is extensive or intensive, you take the formula of that. If both numerator and denominator, extensive to extensive, property will be intensive. If numerator and denominator are intensive, property will be intensive. If any one among them, either numerator or denominator intensive, then the property is extensive. Here, number of moles. What is number of moles? Mass by molar mass, right? Mass is extensive. Molar mass is constant, no? Intensive, this becomes extensive. So you can put molar mass here. Molar mass. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟಾ? ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು? ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ 10 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ವಾಟರ್ 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ವಾಟರ್ 10 ಲೀಟರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಸೊ ದೇ ಕಮ್ ಹಿಯರ್. Melting point, boiling point. What about viscosity? Viscosity also comes here, no? When you say viscosity of a liquid, any mass, viscosity is same. This you understood? This ratio clear? Intensive by intensive is intensive, extensive by extensive is intensive. If one is extensive, that is extensive only. Got it? We had some other. Electromotive force, EMF. What is EMF? It is mass by charge. Mass by charge. Mass is extensive. Charge is extensive. Charge you put here, okay? Charge is extensive. Charge is extensive. So this to be, what is the ratio? Intensive. Extensive by extensive is intensive. Dielectric constant. What is dielectric constant of water is 80. That means it is the capacity of water to dissolve various solute in that. Based on that, dielectric constant is given. Okay, water dissolves various solute. It doesn't depend on the quantity. If water dissolves sodium chloride, 1 gram or any gram dissolves in water. So it is intensive. Rest all are intensive only. When you say any constant, here you can include R also, right? Gas constant. Any constant. When we say any constant, it should be intensive only. Understood? Questions are asked on that. Identify the property, whether intensive or extensive. We'll continue in the next class.